Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Mayur Jadhav. So guys, in this video we will going to see, is this little body, the Nikon D5600, worth buying in 2021 or not, as it was launched in 2016 and it is now 4.5 years old. So if you are looking for the camera which comes in that beginner to intermediate level and ranges from 50 to 60,000, then this could be the best camera you can get. So should you consider buying this camera in 2021? If yes, then why? And if no, then why not? Let's find out in this video. So without wasting any time guys, let's get started. So talking about the camera guys, I think this camera is much underrated. If you go out, then you probably see the Nikon's D3500s and D7000s, but you very rarely see D5600. We don't often see people talking about this camera guys. So I think guys, this camera is more than capable of what people think, as I have used like for many professional events and I use quite regularly for the photography. So let me show you the capabilities of this camera by showing some pictures and videos. But before that, let's talk about the specifications of this camera. So the D5600 has 24 megapixels APS-C size CMOS sensor and has X-Speed 4 processor, though the processor is quite old, but it doesn't matter unless you are doing sport photography, and the ISO ranges between 100 to 25,600, and it has given no image stabilization in body, but the lenses are VR lenses, that is vibration reduction, so nothing to worry about that. The number of focus points are 39, so that is quite excellent. Maximum shutter speed is 1/4000 of a second, and continuous drive, that is 5 fps, means you can shoot continuous 5 pictures in 1 second. The video resolution is 1920 by 1080, that is full HD, and maximum frame rate is 60p. So guys, the autofocus of this camera while capturing photos is much better and accurate than its competitor, that is Canon 200D. Obviously it has more autofocus points, that is 39. Now let's talk about the appearance of this camera. So here you can see the camera is very compact, like it doesn't give that bulky DSLR feeling in your hand. It's almost like you are holding a mirrorless camera, and its fully articulated screen is very large compared to 200D, and it flips out, twists, and you can do whatever with it. And also the touchscreen is very responsive, and you can see this gap. It's very deep gap they have given to place your fingers. You won't find this kind of deep gap in any other Nikon cameras. So even if you have big hands and fingers like I have, you can easily carry this camera with one hand, and it makes almost impossible to slip off or lose grip of your camera. Now let's see what buttons they have given on the camera. Here on the top side we have flash button. In the middle we have FN button, means we can set camera to default settings or any custom settings by just pressing this button. And down here we have continuous shutter button for shooting continuous frames, and also it is used to set the timer as well. Then we have here micro USB port and 3.5 mm microphone jack. On the top we have live mode switch, exposure control button, and here it is one red little button to start and stop the recording. Then at the top we have built-in stereo microphone as well. Then at the front we have menu button, autofocus lock button, playback, info, and arrow circle, and zoom in and zoom out, and delete button. And on the right side we have HDMI port and memory slot. So here are some of the images I have taken. And also the sharpness is much better. Like I have personally used both of them, the cameras, Canon 200D and D5600. So I found that the images were quite sharper than the 200D. So talking about the video capabilities, so the video quality of this camera is quite actually excellent guys. You know, you can use it professionally, but if you want to shoot moving objects and if you are more reliable on the autofocus, then this camera is not for you. You can assume that it has no autofocus in video mode, because autofocus is completely useless of this camera in video mode. But if you want to shoot the interviews and some videos in which you will have to keep constant distance in between subject and camera, then you can go with this camera. You know, if you use it on manual focus mode, I have used it for some videos. If you want to check, then you will find the links in the description. You can check that the video quality of this camera. Also guys, if you compare this camera with the 35 or 50mm f1.8, then you can get very much impressive results out of it. You know, if used correctly and in skillful hands guys, the pictures, you probably don't even notice that these pictures are taken with the crop frame camera. You know, also if you go for the dual lens kit, then you will get this 70 to 300mm lens, which is actually quite, guys, means it is also very underrated lens. I will make a separate video on this lens only, that this lens is very sharp guys, and you can use it for, you know, weddings and wildlife also. So yes, I will definitely make a video on this lens, so make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss that video. So if you found the prime lenses more expensive, the Nikon's lenses, then I have made a video. In that video guys, I have discussed one lens that is of only 5,000 rupees, so you can definitely check that out. The link will be given in the description. So yes, the final question, is it worth buying in 2021? Yes, definitely. If you are more into photography and if you love taking outdoor pictures and streets and wildlife, and also you can use it like professionally for weddings or stuff like that. So yes, that is for today guys. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up, and also like, share and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and we will meet in the next video. Thank you so much.